seeking guidance on your spiritual journey? Need help with a vexing problem? Missing a loved one and looking for answers? Look no further than Psychic Insights, a small trusted psychic service offering mediums, psychics, and spiritual coaching. This service is managed by Hollis Taylor, a gifted psychic medium, astrologer, and a compassionate coach. We are dedicated to helping you navigate your spiritual awakening. At Psychic Insights, we provide medium readings and psychic insight to help you plan for tomorrow and make choices for today. Find the support you need, compassionate grief coaching, and astrological insights to help you spiritually grow and transform. Our professional services include well-managed schedules, recorded sessions, and reliable psychic mediums ready to facilitate your transformational experience. Discover more at psychicinsights.life.
Hello, welcome everyone. Hello, I hope that you're all having a good day out there so far. Hi, Daniela Vershi, and hey, Tracy, how's it going? I'm glad you all are here and glad you're tuning in. We're just getting people started. We're just getting rolling. Hi, Karen, and hi, Christine. We're so glad all of you are here. It's good to have you. Christine Nagel.
Hi, Christine.
And Karen. And Gianna Polito. Welcome.
I'm glad she's here too.
Yeah. She says happy Wednesday.
It's
Tracy.
been a crazy Wednesday for me. I want to know kind of about the solar eclipse stuff because I'm telling you what, I couldn't sleep. The energy's got me going.
Yeah, it's today. It's today. Hopefully you can hear me better now, Tracy. Tracy said she could barely hear us, but I think it might actually be her. But yeah, so today's a solar eclipse. Today right now. Solar eclipse is in Libra. So any placements in Libra or Aries, you're going to feel it. And wherever Libra and Aries are in your chart, whatever house they're in, it will certainly affect that area of your life. So for me, Libra is in my 12th house of psychic and stuff like that. But it's also in the 12th house, also rules like unseen, and it also rules institutions and hospitals and that kind of thing. And Aries rules my house of health. So I went and seen a doctor and he was a jerk. So are we surprised? No. That's totally the solar eclipse. So I was like, oh, of course. Oh,
but
so
I'm glad
Karen,
you shared that experience. Seriously. Because a lot of people don't speak up and stuff. And doctors like that think that it's okay, and it's not. And I'm proud of you for sharing that. We need to speak up.
Yeah, some if people you're not on my friend list, people, not everybody's on my friend list, so they probably don't know. Right. They probably haven't seen it. But I had a problem with the doctor. Yeah, he was sexually inappropriate. So, because my spouse and I are queer, and oftentimes what you learn as a lesbian is that you'll trigger perverted men if you're a lesbian. If they realize that you're gay or queer, they're gonna be triggered sexually. Hi, Karen. So you're Libra. So that's gonna. So the sun and the. If you're having some intense experience, I know you're having an intense experience. I don't even have to ask you. I know you are.
I don't have any Libra or Aries.
No. Yeah, but what house does it rule?
I don't know. I don't have any. I have no Libra or Aries in my chart. It's all.
But what house? What piece of the pie?
What do you mean? There is none. I don't have any Libra.
Yeah, you do. Everybody has Libra. Every single person on the planet.
Okay.
I don't know. Do you have a circle chart?
Yeah, somewhere. I do. Okay. On my Astro. Pull it up so I'll have to look at it.
The universe does not hate you, Christine. Oh my goodness. That's terrible. Does not hate you. When things go wrong, they are not happening to you. They were happening for you. Okay, believe it or not. Believe it or not. See, I told you Karen was having an intense time. Yep. So Tracy says she's an Aries. And so Tracy, that's so that's like you're gonna, the eclipse is like opposite your sun. So yeah, it's gonna affect you. It'll depend on what, I don't know anything. Just knowing that you're an Aries is not enough. I just know that it's gonna be intense. Just like I know it's gonna be intense for Karen here. Okay. So like I don't know how it's gonna be intense. I have to look at your whole chart. Angie Glass is like, can this week be finished, please? It's okay, Angie. Just believe that the universe is leading you somewhere. And that's what I always remember. So, you know, when I had the incident with the doctor this week, a couple days ago, I knew it was the eclipse. And I was like, okay, here we go. And then I was like, okay, where is the universe trying to lead me? Should I not have surgery at this hospital? I just had a doctor be inappropriate with me. Maybe I shouldn't go to this hospital and I should just go to the original hospital that I plan to go to, which also happens to be the best in Colorado, and that's also the best surgeon. And, you know, so maybe I'm just supposed to go there, you know, so always know that while it sucked what happened, and it will suck having to wait a month, maybe something could happen. I am on a waiting list in case an appointment comes free with that surgeon. And if that happens, I'm going to cancel whatever I have going on and I'm going to go. But it, you know, no, it wasn't Boulder Valley, Christine. It was actually the Longmont Surgical Center. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to get my gallbladder out because it's attacking me.
I'm learning. Honestly, we just had our third direct hit in 18 months from a hurricane. And my town, like the town that's been rebuilt 3 times at the end of my road, is gone. It's like it's just washed away. It's gone. And I've honestly learned the material things in the long run don't really matter. It's so much more than that. It's us. It's our, like, it can all be gone like that. It's the love. It's the connection. It's the family. Life is so much more than just the material things around it. The lessons, you know, because I keep looking, same thing that Christine was saying, like life has been happening to you. It's been the longest since Thursday has seemed like months. I can't believe it hasn't even been a week. Seriously, because we're still dealing with FEMA, like, and debris and just crap, like so much stuff. So I can relate to that, but then I'm trying to ground and center and look at all the blessings. Like, we're safe. We do still have our home. Yeah, I lost food. We lost stuff, but nothing compared to everyone around. We were okay. So,
and I'd almost bet for you, Cheryl, that your chart is loading right now. But I think that Libra and Aries is probably in your house, in your home.
Yeah. I don't know. You have it somewhere. I'm Virgo, Gemini. I'm very earthy down. But I really but it would have through this. Like, I've learned the cycles of the earth, and just I've had a lot of spirits, guides and stuff around me, protecting me, keeping me calm, the archangels. Like, it's just been a really beautiful experience through it. When I've been utterly terrified and had been very anxious, I've been able to access that. So
Libra rules your house of day-to-day life. It's also in your 5th house for creativity and romance. And so the eclipse is actually happening somewhere in your 5th, 6th house. And the Aries, which is the opposite of Libra, is actually a ruler of your 12th house, like, which is like,
oh wow,
I don't see that coming. It also has to do with like psychic. It also has to do with like psychic stuff. The 12th house is invisible to us.
Oh.
It's also rules hospitals, institutions.
Where I used to work in institutions. That's where I did practicum on normal side.
Yeah.
Share
So,
that was my most profound. As a psychic medium and stuff, I used to go into the institutions and I would work with people that had never been outside in 35 years of life. They'd never been outside. And I remember a few of them I would take under a tree when the sun would shine through the leaves and just watch just them experiencing nature, just the simple things that we take for granted. And that's like after the storm and stuff. Because I know Florida, we were affected, but I know so many millions were, just to enjoy the simple things of life again. And when we're going through grief too, just to learn to switch it up a little bit. Because like you said, it's not happening to us, it's for us. So
yep, all the time. And that's why I like astrology, because it constantly reminds you of that.
Yeah, I love
There's
that.
something it's leading you to. So don't get too upset about whatever's going on for you, Angie. Just hang in there. You're gonna be okay. Just know that it's leading you somewhere good. Christine, I find those kinds of doctors fascinating, that they think it's okay. Hi, Jamie.
And I never understand it. You in Florida too.
Well, he thought it was funny to joke about the Cosby thing. Anyway, so, and that just tells me something's really wrong with him. He has some severe problems. So it's like, makes you wonder what kind of person would do that, right? Hi, Holly. We're glad you're here. And you could be totally... Oh, Brittany wants to know when everything will start settling down.
Sometime after the break.
It actually probably... I mean, we got Pluto. We got Jupiter that's about to go retrograde. Which depends on your sign. Yeah. So I would say that things start to get a little bit calmer after the new year, but it's going to be a little rough ride through the... Yeah, because we're going to witness some cuckoo-ness with the election, I'm pretty sure. Wow. Hi, Melissa. So if you live in the United States anyway, or the United States government, the politics. So just hold on tight and just try to take things in stride. Brittany said, so when I'm 80, I got it. Yeah. Brittany, actually, when you're 80, that's your Neptune return. Ask Biden about that, okay? So,
You're good.
All right. So Angie said, I hope this guy is working in my house since Friday. I'm sure he'll finish very soon, Angie. It just feels weird to have some weird guy in your house, but at least you're safe. And I don't think he's harming you any, and he's just doing the work he's trying to do, probably making all kinds of inconvenience things. Angie's working on selling her house. We can all give Angie a round of applause for that.
Yes. Good job.
Well done, Angie. She lost her husband many, many years ago, and she's just now selling the house. So you can imagine how hard that could be for somebody. So we could just all give Angie lots of heads up for coming through that, coming through that grief. And look at that. Look at that, how strong she is. Amazing. Hi, Kristen. All right. So people, someone needs a kitchen. Okay. Anyway, welcome everyone. I'm glad that you're here.
Her whole basement and kitchen needs total remodeled and stuff after her husband. Her husband just passed like 6 months ago. That was Christine.
Oh.
Been through so much. Like, it's been insane. Like, her whole kitchen is stripped, and she's got 3 teens, I believe. 3 teenagers.
Oh my goodness.
They've been DoorDashing, I think, for like a month. Yeah.
Right. Look at that, Angie. So everybody's cheering you on.
All of us. Yeah, just please know all of us have some crazy struggles right now. And the way to get through it, you just ground, just try to go to your beliefs and just realize, like, there are lessons and things, and just change your perspective. It's happening for you. It's not to you. And Hollis has really helped me. I've been dealing with my mother's loss too, and it just keeps popping up. And I think I'm done, and then other stuff, legal crap pops up, and it's just, my goodness. So
yeah, it's It's definitely everybody has their own story right now.
Oh,
so,
sweetheart.
Yeah.
My blessings and prayers out to everyone. Yeah, I get it. I'm the same thing, 10 minutes from Horseshoe and Steenahatchee. That's usually where we go to relax. Like, yeah, I haven't even seen our beach. Like, where the houses normally are is gone. All of it's gone. Like, I'd say maybe 5% of the town survived. Maybe. 20-foot surge they had.
Wow, it's a lot.
So to everyone, let's work cleansing, and let's do some readings and just try to connect and give you hope and stuff,
Hey, Tracy's got a good idea. Put some gratitude in your attitude.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because that's what, honestly, just this devastation and stuff around me has made me very grateful for what I do have. Yeah, I lost some stuff, but it's just material things. Everyone's okay. We're all okay.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of readings today. I'm going to do my best to just follow spirit and help me pick people that that spirit thinks should have a reading. And I'll help bring their name to Mama Cole. Sorry, my brain's not really online today.
Okay.
If someone catches it, if you see it out there in the wild, just bring it back, okay? And it does rhyme, Tracy. And so it's just mainly just okay, so this person is asking for a reading. I just found it a little confusing at first, but now I see. So apparently their name is not their name. But isn't that funny? It doesn't make any sense. Nina Morella said, "Let me know if someone comes through for me. My name is Veronica." So I think her name's not Nina, it's Veronica.
Right. I get a gentleman, a man. I'd say father, uncle. About 50 or so, smokes a cigar. I'd say even like a Cuban cigar. I don't know if you're Cuban, but he's got a cigar. I'd say he might even be your grandpa, because he's more like typical 60s, maybe 70s guy with the bourbon or something on the rocks. I used to be a bartender, so he's like, because he can't do either of these things anymore. I honestly think this is her grandpa. And he chews on the cigar, like he's
oh, like he chews on the cigar.
Yeah, he's like chewing and stuff on it. So please know, he's an older relative of yours. Like, this might be somebody that you knew as a child or something that you looked up to. He watched over you. Money, like he helped with your family, I get. So he might have even been a family friend, because I do see like he helped monetarily. And he just wants you to know he still does watch over you. He's still very involved in your life. And I do get
Nina, do you know any spirits? Do you know any spirits that chewed on a
cigar?
Cigar?
It's like a Cuban cigar.
Like a Cuban
cigar? I think he used to smoke it when he was young. And then as he got older, he wasn't allowed to. So he would just chew it.
Do you know your grandparents, Nina?
That's it, because I'm seeing her about 6 to 8 years old. You were little. Very cute little girl. So he might have been a family member who helped your mother out. May not even been like family, but you know how we have adopted family and stuff? I get perhaps like that. Just know that you're still being watched over. She's also had a very close loss. I'm almost getting a child, but I'm not positive.
Yeah, she's saying that she doesn't really know her grandparents. Okay. It was probably they probably passed when I was little.
Yeah, that's okay. But just know you're watched over by this person still. Like, you're still he really watches over you to make sure that you're provided for and stuff, which is kind of cool. And the most recent loss that you had, they're together. But I get that is a private reading.
Oh, okay. So she had I had a recent pass. Yeah, she is saying, yeah, I did have someone pass recently. Yeah.
I believe it was
you believe it's what?
A child.
A child or a young man or
a young man. So, I'm not sure.
Okay.
And I do find like when I get privacy things, and I have found in the past that sometimes some of them actually, as I do the private reading for them and stuff, I've come across some are undercover police officers. There's reasons that they're private, or some it might be a touchy subject, and they want to make sure that the loved one is okay. So it's because this is streamed across numerous platforms, and it may not even be. It might just be triggering or something, and it's something that you need to be held and comforted, like a little longer than a blip of a reading. Do you know what I mean? A little bit more compassion.
She said she did recently lose a young man, so he is also there. Nina.
Yeah. I just get that it might be sensitive, but please know that you're loved. It doesn't mean anything. He is with this older gentleman being watched over, cared for. You don't have to worry about anything. Everything will be taken care of, and all of your answers you will get all your answers.
Was the young man private, Nina? Do you know?
I get about his subject of his passing. He is.
Okay. All right.
That's okay. I always honor that.
She said she's reached out to you about a private reading, and he was very private, yes.
Okay.
Okay. And so she's saying that it's actually her husband.
Yeah, no problem. The website's right there.
Okay? Yep, exactly. I think she may have even messaged you or something. So I'm sure you can help her get there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
Okay.
If you did message me between Thursday and now, because of the hurricane, some of the messages I didn't get, it's been insane. So I'm back at work now, but if the hurricane Friday's crazy, it might be a day or two. I don't know for sure. So, but I am here. You can message me. We have fiber. Everything works. Got my generator almost fixed back up again.
Yeah, we don't have another hurricane till Friday. Have we heard anything about that one?
It's only 40% chance, so hopefully we're good.
Great.
Do you want to hear something funny? Mid-hurricane, my husband goes out and he has to put more gas in it, right? And he goes and starts it, and the freaking pool thing comes off. I'm like, oh no!
Oh no!
He got it about 2 hours. About 3 hours later, he was able to fix it and start it. Had to use like an impact wrench to start it. Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. I was like, no.
Yeah.
So I get the craziness. It's been insane. But yeah, Nina, I'd love to help you, sweetheart.
All right. So the next person, hold on a second. Okay. So Stephanie Frontiero. Have you ever read for her? I don't think so.
No.
She would appreciate a reading.
Was it your spouse, sweetheart? She has quite Stephanie. A few, honestly. You have quite a few, honestly. You have a spouse, grandparents, an auntie, and a close friend, I believe. Let's see who can hear first.
She says she's never been married. Did you ever have a person you dated that passed away?
Yeah, because there's a young gentleman. Perhaps he might have been somebody like from high school or college. Because there is a young man.
She's saying there is a lot of people.
Yeah, you do have quite a few. You need to know that you're always watched over, that in life you feel like you're alone a lot. You're not. You're watched over. You have more family on the other side than you do that walk the earth presently with you. And you need to realize you need to like reestablish that connection. it's okay. Like you have so much support and love still. Like you feel like everybody left you kind of, but they didn't. They're still right there. They're still involved. Because I get a lot of it is like your parent, like I believe she's a single mom, like just feels alone, like she's struggling. She has struggles. She works really hard. She's doing a lot. And at times it's like, what is this? Like, it's hard. Like you're being acknowledged of how hard it is and that you need to just keep going because you have so many ancestors behind you. So that's the biggest message for you, is not to lose hope, not to be frustrated. The majority of your family is just watching from the other side. It's okay if they're still walking with you. You're not alone. You just can't see them. Like you have to start feeling them. Okay. And that's where your strength's going to come from. When you don't feel like you have any more strength, you have to, and sometimes it's as cool as, I mean, show like genealogy for you. Like look up some of their stories, like investigate some of them. It doesn't have to be like the immediate family, like your ancestors. It's absolutely beautiful. Some of the stories of a lot of us have ancestors that came here from other countries, things like that. That'll give you the courage and strength that's going to give you the courage and strength. I really can feel you don't need to be stressed. Okay. You don't need to be, and you're not alone because so try to do some research with your ancestors. I think that'll help you a lot. And it'll give you perhaps the roots that you're missing right now. Okay. It doesn't have to be immediate family. It can be ancestral. I understand that a lot. So, and it'll really help you not feel so alone, honey. Please know that you're definitely not alone. Okay. I hope that helped you, Stephanie.
Well done.
And that's that's a lot of us.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are a little stressed.
Yeah. Oh, Karen. And that's got to be especially hard right now, Karen, with all the planetary stuff and everything. I know emotions are flying high.
Yeah, Karen said, I would love to hear from my boy. He crossed over 2 years ago. It was a tragic accident.
You need to know, and this is something I have repeat often, is that the tragic accident, he didn't suffer. His body went through it, but his soul did not. Okay. So that's something that you need to be comforted to know. It was for him. There was no pain. There was no suffering. And I get, you're just like, huge hole in the heart. I couldn't even imagine, because my boys are my world. Like I have 5 boys. Like, I couldn't imagine. I can feel, and he's another one. He wants you to know he's still there, Mom. And he calls you Mama. So is he like, because he's calling her Mama. I'm seeing him like 10, 11 years old, but then I'm also seeing like an older kid too, like a 25-year-old. So I'm not sure if that's the way that you're remembering him. But he wants you to know he's okay. There was absolutely no suffering at all. And he watches you crying. She hasn't touched his room at all. I get that you have, like, you sit on his bed holding, you have like a jersey or a shirt or something. Yeah, he does call you Mama. He's showing me like you crying and holding. Keep doing that. He's there. 24. Okay. But are you having like flashbacks of to like, like the 10 or 11-year-old? I raise boys and I know like 10 or 11, they're still sweet as could be, and you're still like magic woman. Do you know what? Sure. Yeah. Like you can't do any wrong. And then like from the hormones kick in at like 13 to about 24. Yeah. They're just wild. Like they're just, I always call them testosterone monsters. Like I always blame it on the testosterone because it was just so much for my boys. My boys just were mean. Like they just, and he wants you to know he's the sweet little boy still. And he's there when you're doing that with the shirt. Like I see it just as clear as day. Please know in those moments of brokenness, Karen, that you're not alone. Your little boy is there. You still have that connection. And connect a lot of them tell me is connect with your heartbeat. He knows what your heart sounds like from the inside. All you have to do to connect with him is just drop in, be quiet. When you're holding that shirt, like hold your heart and feel the beat, and you can connect with him that way. He's very close. Okay. I'm so sorry for your loss. I could not imagine. I'm sorry, Karen. You will get through it. I promise you'll get through it. I'm glad you're here, Karen. He's really glad that you're here too.
She says she does smell his clothes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's beautiful. I do have a tip for that. Put them in a plastic bag. The scent lasts longer. Like you can actually seal the scent. Because I did that with my grandma's clothes. The scent lasted for like 10 years. My grandma's scent. It was a comfort. I had her nightgowns that she wore all the time. I put them in. They were in her drawer. They were all clean, but I could still smell her on them. So I put them in a Ziploc just so I could.
She has them in a bag. She already did it.
Okay, so that's why he's telling me that, because I haven't thought of that for years. Like I haven't. But to me, that scent was so valuable. So please know he's acknowledging that for you. And that's for everybody else too. Like that's just a way to preserve, because some of us are very scent oriented. That's called something olfactive or something. Like, no, there is a thing called scent memory that can bring you right back to great memories and moments through your scent. That's beautiful, Karen. So he showed up. Good job.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. I wanted to just address Stephen Atkins's question. He says, how do we research our ancestors? Do you have any suggestions on that?
Family. I did genealogy for years. Well, what was really funny, how I started doing genealogy, I actually had my great grandmother show up in spirit on the side of my bed doing this. Like I was like 23. And I started, there's a lot of easy, like ancestry.com. There's all kinds of genealogy sites or family Bibles. If you have, like, start with your family, your parents, what you know, your grandparents. Start looking for obituaries. Obituaries have their lineage, they're like your grandma. If you can find your grandma's obituary, it'll have her parents on there. And then you just go from that. You start entering that into ancestry.com or any of the things like that in your family trees. It's gone so far now. You used to have to go like research on microfiche and stuff. When I was a teenager, you had to do that. You don't have to do that anymore. It's so accessible.
The other thing I would say is that it's not always about ancestors. So for instance, Stephen, I have guides that are like drag queens and stuff like that, because I'm a drag king. So like, drag queens are inspired by me, and or inspiring me. And then I also have like activists, people that are connected to things that I'm passionate about. So, because their souls were kind of lost because their family disconnected from them because they were queer, right? But then their souls are kind of, they'll adopt us that also have, and I have that same experience. My family did, pushed me away because I was queer. And so, so that experience, so if you have anything like that in your history, don't be surprised if those kinds of energies come to you, because they're on the same resonance. So like nurses and doctors and artists and firemen and things like that. Okay.
Right. Yeah, because my family, honestly, a lot of my ancestry, I had to skip like back because my my grandmother was adopted and stuff. And I have all different religions, like Buddha, Ganesha. I have all kinds of different guides.
Exactly. So it doesn't always have to be your ancestors.
It can be guides. It can be your beliefs. You just what comes to you, what you see often, the totems and things that you see often are usually, that's your guides. I've seen hawks and turtles and stuff since I was a child. Like they're everywhere. Stuff like that. You just follow your guide, follow your intuition.
He's saying thank you so much. And everybody loves your bag thing. There's like so many people that are like, oh my gosh, I wish I knew about the bag thing.
It's okay, because seriously, like the scent lasts for a while. It really does. And always encourage people, don't throw stuff out right away. Some people react differently. I've had lots of people who've lost children and stuff, and the trauma has been so much that they just go through the house and start throwing stuff away. And I'm like, no, just wait. If you have to, just bag it and put it somewhere, but just wait, because there's a time that scent means a lot. Like, just and sometimes if you have gotten rid of it, go buy their cologne. Their cologne and their deodorant helps too. Like, you don't have to, if you can't, replace it or do that, you can replace it.
Right. So. Okay, so let's look at Sophie Beresford.
It's her mama. Oh, what a sweetheart. I wish I could see her, but it's funny. I get like a little thumbnail.
I know you get the smallest picture. That's why we always read what the messages are, because people can't see it. Like, you can't even see it. You can't even see it. You think they see on their phone,
So honestly, I have a female spirit that comes through. As soon as I saw it, very mothering, very nurturing. You're a very warm, beautiful soul and very young. Like, I get that you're young, but then I look, maybe I don't even know. I can't even see. But just know that you're looked at like a princess. Like, you could do absolutely no wrong in this woman's eyes. And she taught you everything. Your grace, your demeanor. So I'm getting, maybe she was like a Southern woman or something. Like, I get very proper, but in a different way. I don't know where she's like, just elegant and proper, but not snooty at all. Like, just proper, like good manners and stuff, and raised you the same way, that you're the princess, the queen. And you need to remember that. You need to remember, the biggest message for you today is to remember your worth. Remember, you're still that queen and your prince and that princess, and you need to be treating yourself that way. Don't look for a man or someone else to make you feel that way. You can do that yourself. You don't need someone else to accentuate who you really are. So that's her message.
Sophie, do you have a grandmother? Do you know your grandmother? How about your great grandmother?
This is a very influential woman in your life. Like, so this could have been your grandma or something. She's just wanting you to know about your value and your worth. So the person, like, it really doesn't, but for you, that's the biggest message for you. You are the princess. You are the queen.
But she doesn't know your grandma.
So maybe this is maybe your great grandma or something. It's somebody that's influencing you. And that's okay. Like, it could have been one of their grandparents, or it could be somebody close to your family.
Sometimes I find that when older ancestors come through, it's because there's some sort of generational thing that's being repeated about. So like you were saying about her worth. So like it's her worth, and then her mother also suffers with that. Her grandmother also suffers with that. And so then her great grandmother is on the other side. Like, could y'all please work on your self-worth? Do you get what I'm saying? So, and you don't have to know them. You don't have to know them, Sophie. Not at all. That has nothing to do with who your ancestors or your. Yeah. So, because what do you think happens when a baby is born? They have no spirits around them. They don't know anyone, right? So when a baby is born, they have spirits around them, whether they know them or not. Yeah. So Sophie, if you're kind of going, oh, I do kind of sometimes maybe not the greatest about my self-worth, or feel like I need a man to increase my self-worth, or anything like that, or money or shopping, but it's probably generational. So if you look to your mom, she's probably doing the same thing. Your grandma probably did the same thing. And so your great grandma's on the other side, kind of sort of broadcasting that to you.
I get it might be, honestly, putting on airs, looking like you got it all together, but not really. That was like the female curse of the family. Like, just looking proper and prim, but really not feeling like that. Do you know what I mean? And that's what your message is, to feel that you are beautiful and valuable and authentic, just like you are. You don't got to be nobody else.
And so what Mama Cole is doing sort of very blind, cold readings without you saying, I'd like to talk to my blah, blah, blah. Okay. Because what happens, this is why in the beginning of a reading, a paid recorded reading, most good mediums will say, please tell me who you'd like to connect with. Otherwise, we'll be talking to your great grandma for the next 40 minutes. And then you're kind of like, well, I didn't want to talk to my great grandma. I wanted to talk to my husband. And you're like, sorry, so that's not the medium's fault because we're not mind readers. We are not mind readers. We are mediums, two completely different things. And spirits are not allowed to read your mind. And you probably like that rule because do you really want your great grandma to know every thought that's gone through your head? Most of us are like, oh no. Okay. So just remember that like you have to be specific when you go to get a reading. And so I've had people be like, I'm not telling you who I want you. And I'm like, okay, then it could be anyone. And then I'm laughing at them because I'm like, okay. And usually I just stop the reading and refund them right away because so anytime you get a reading, make sure you're prepared to say exactly who you'd like to connect with because that will make the reading go better. And any good medium knows that. Okay.
But what's funny, honestly, is if you're open, the messages that you need to receive, you will get either way. But it's about you being open. It doesn't matter that who, like, it's just, it comes across. So,
yeah. See, you should have said, I want to speak to my granddad, but it's okay, Sophie. It's okay, Sophie.
Yeah, don't worry about it. But just know that the woman came through. So granddad was kind of quiet and private, and that's no big deal. It doesn't mean that he doesn't love you or didn't want to come through. It just meant this
maybe he doesn't want to be on stage.
But just know this woman had more. She's like, okay, he's not going to talk, but I'm here. I bet it was his mom. I bet you it was his mom.
Okay. Like his, like so her great grandmother. Yeah. And this is why we always are specific, and also sometimes private readings go better because currently we're kind of asking the spirits to step on stage right now. Okay. And some of them like that and some of them would not. Okay. So, okay. The next person in line here, I had it all set up here, is actually Caroline Soper. Greetings from Australia.
Oh, I love that.
Love a reading if possible. Yeah. So she's down under.
Yeah. I'm going to go over to her. Carolyn Soper. Now she has a masculine, older man. Well, older. I'm older. Like he's like 50s or 60s. He's like my age, which is funny. I'm considering myself older. And sunshine was a big thing about him. I don't know if it was sunsets or what, or if he called you his sunshine. And he wants you to know he's okay. And he's also called, which is really funny. I haven't heard this. Like he's calling you mate. He's like, I'm okay, mate. Like, don't worry about me. You shouldn't bother. Like, know that he's okay. He's doing good. And it was a bum. Like it was an accident or something. How he passed was just kind of, he's kind of making like a joke of it. He's like, can you imagine that crap? Like, who would have thought like that's how he would go out is what he's saying. Like, who would have ever have thought?
She said that sounds like it could be our brother-in-law.
Okay. Just know that he's coming through and that you need to know that he's okay. And he's intact, like his humor is intact. He's good to go. He wants you to know, I'm good to go. You don't have to worry at all. Because there was some concern about the way he passed. Like, don't worry.
She's saying that he had like a brain tumor for 3 months from diagnosis to passing. So he had like lived with a brain tumor, which can sometimes be weird because their behaviors can start to go weird.
Really wacko. Yeah.
Wow.
I have a friend who's lived with she's in New Zealand. that where she's at? Yeah. So, yeah, New Zealand. And she's had 3 brain tumors. She had surgery for like 5 years ago, and then now she's still lit. She has inoperable ones. Yeah, it's crazy. But you need to know he didn't suffer. But he's like, yeah, who would have thought? Like, not in a million years, you never would have thought that he would have just like boom. Yeah, and it went so fast.
Yeah.
So you just need to have the peace and comfort that he's okay.
Yeah. All right. Well done.
She did need somebody else to come forward, but it's not the time right now, sweetheart. If there was someone else that he just kind of barged through.
There was someone else that she was supposed she was hoping to come through, but okay.
Yeah, it's
all right. Well, here's someone being very specific, and I feel for Stephen because he lost his partner, his husband, and it's been 4 weeks today. I hate typing that out. I can't believe you, Stephen. Can't imagine.
It makes it so real when you have to type it. And I just love the energy. I'm okay. Like, partner, is this a gentleman? Like, the gender doesn't matter. Gender fluent, like, definitely. I'm good. I'm free. Don't have to worry about me. Like, like totally like musical poetry. Embracing life. The biggest thing is you need to know they're okay. Their life has gone on. Actually show me on the other side of the rainbow. It's not somewhere over the rainbow, that they're on the other side of the rainbow now. Like
you cross the rainbow bridge. Like sometimes we use that languaging for our animals.
Because he's showing me the other side of the rainbow, how beautiful it is from the other side. Like, you think it's beautiful from this side. He's saying, look at the other side of it. Like, it's so much more than you can possibly imagine.
He's laughing, yes, probably to all the musical, dancing, freedom. Yeah.
Beautiful,
Disco
like
balls.
such a beautiful energy. A very beautiful, flowing, creative, musical. Reminds me of a very dear friend of mine that I used to have, like very dear, like just right. You need to know that still exists in the universe, that light has not gone out. Okay. Absolutely beautiful. So please know that, Stephen. And I'm so sorry for your recent loss, but know that, wow, like so easily to tap into also. Like the love is still there. So beautiful. You're just missing the physical absence right now. And I'm so, so sorry for it. But he really wants you to know he's okay. Okay. Please, in your heart, know that he's okay. And really wants to show you the rainbow from the other side. Like, that's the most magnificent, is it's like, he's like, it's so much more than prisms. Like, it's so much more than what we can perceive. Okay.
Oh, wow. He says that on the day of his funeral, there was a rainbow was literally over the top of us when the hearse arrived.
So please know that's him. All over body chills. That's him.
Yeah, I got chills all over.
Yeah. So he's validating that when he sent that rainbow, he was on the other side. See,
everybody got chills. like 5 people. Like 5 people in the group. Oh my gosh, I got chills.
So please know that's our way, our loved one. That's such a beautiful. I'm so thankful that you're here, Stephen, and that we're all able to validate such a beautiful love between you and your partner. Thank you so much. I did a reading recently for a young man who wasn't able to live his life freely like this. So it's so beautiful to see a couple who's able to live freely, because there's so many people that aren't. And that's also part of the reason I'm Mama Cole. For those that don't have mamas and stuff, I love everyone and accept everyone. So thank you so much for such a beautiful love. Like, thank you so much for sharing him with us. Them. Thank you, Stephen.
Yeah.
Wow. Whew.
He said, wow, that hit me. Thank you so much. Yeah.
was him.
And I wanted to bring back, Caroline interjected that that he did have behavior changes and he never thought a tumor would take him out, but she was actually hoping to hear from her best friend. Yeah. It's not too early, Caroline. It might just be that your best friend is private or doesn't want to be on stage. Sometimes that has something to do with it. Sometimes they don't want. It just depends. It just depends on the person. And sometimes they might just have a private message for you and they don't want to broadcast it. So, yeah. So, okay. Okay. You're welcome. Everybody's saying that was so beautiful to listen to. It was just so beautiful. And a lot of these comments, by the way, friends, are coming from the group. I will say that Tracy is usually here, so I want to give her a chance. She wants to hear from her husband. What do you think? You think he could come through today?
Yeah, Tracy. Oh, sweetheart. He's telling you, oh, sweetheart, wasn't that absolutely beautiful? Like, you need to know that your love transcends time, eternity. He wants you to know it wasn't till death do you part. Some people are very specific about that. He goes, remember the wedding vows? No, that doesn't apply. We're forever. He taught you often about eternity, or that you guys had an agreement that you would let each other know. And he goes, yeah, it's all real. Just like we just experienced before. He wants you to know it's real and your love will transcend time, death, and eternity. Like, you don't have to have any doubt. He wants you to really not have any doubt, honey. Tune into your heart and he'll be there without question. And you already know that. He's like, you don't need her to tell you. I'm here. Like, he's like, I'm here. You don't even need her. Like, he goes, you felt him in that last reading. Like, and that's one thing too, is the messages that came through of that love and stuff, that was for, if you're here, a lot of these messages are for all of us. Like, I learned so much too, just by the love. Like, it's so beautiful to know that it doesn't stop. Like, it's beautiful. So
love
Tracy,
is eternal.
Yeah, it's eternal. That's what his biggest message for you is. It's eternal. You
love is God. God is love. I always say that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Everything's love.
That's why we feel so special when we fall in love or we have a child. Mm-hmm. That's that feeling. You're feeling God in that moment. And sometimes if you lose a person, it can feel like that's been taken away, but it hasn't. That's just because our cultural perspective of death. There's actually another perspective of it. So and long ago we didn't have this experience. In fact, there was no such thing as mediums, like 100, couple hundred years ago.
That is to be celebrated. It's not something to fear. Like, they live on in our stories and in our memories, and that's how you can connect. Is that love, the memories, the births, the celebrations, the life, things like that. But realize some of those celebrations, like the wedding, how he brought up the wedding. Some of them, if it's a religious thing, make sure your beliefs are yours and not given to you by someone else, or be open to the possibility of life after death, because it really does exist, but you have to be open to it. You have to believe.
Right. She did say thank you. That was thank you. It was so beautiful. Welcome. And I just wanted to. We could probably at least answer this question I would like to ask my grandpa the best way to help my brother.
You have to love him through it. He's struggling really bad right now with some addictions and things like that. Like, he's very lost on his path. And immediately they're like, you just have to love him through it. There's nothing you can do. He has his free will. You just have to support him and love him through it, but you can't enable him.
And sometimes love means saying no.
Yeah, I'm being told that very strongly. You cannot enable him. You have to be strong and love him through it. Okay. You're not your brother's keeper per se. They're like, they don't want you to lose yourself by taking care of him. Okay, I hope that makes sense. They were very blunt to the point.
Emily said, wow. Emily said, yes. And then she's saying, what should he do? I think you just have to love him through it, Emily. He has to choose.
Mm-hmm. We can't make him choose. You can't, he has to find himself, and he will if he chooses to. We want to always run in. This is one of those situations we want to run in and we want to rescue and we want to help and stuff. And we have to realize that our loved ones sometimes are going to go down paths that we don't want them to go down, but we can't save them. You can tell them all you want. You can try to rescue them and pull them back, but they still have the free will to go down whatever path they do. Like, it's their lessons to learn, not ours. So, and it's hard. Okay. Yeah.
Definitely hard, Emily. Definitely. It's not an easy thing to watch. I always feel bad for the mothers that have to watch that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
siblings. A lot of times, I'm getting you have, like, you've taken care of him a lot, and you need to realize it's not your responsibility to take care of him, but you can support him. Okay. He's not your child. He's your brother. Okay.
Right.
There's a different, you're not you did not create that life, but you can support it. Okay.
She's saying it's her dad too. I'm sorry, Emily.
I'm sorry.
Sounds really hard.
It's a lot. For you to self-care, self-love, and realize it's no. Yeah, and say no. You have to be strong in you. Your life matters, Emily. Yeah, your life matters. You matter. That princess thing, you need to remember that too. You matter. It's not your responsibility to save everyone. Sometimes I get it's okay for you sometimes to, might be sensitive, stand up for yourself, be strong. You don't have to be surrounded by people that won't support you. Okay?
Yeah.
And you're not alone, Emily. Okay?
Yeah. It's got to be really hard. I imagine it's next to impossible, and just, I don't know. Yeah. And so the whole thing has got to be really hard. So
I see you.
Yeah. So she's saying thank you.
You're so welcome, sweetheart. You're so welcome.
All right, everyone. Well, of course, Jade, babies come through.
Oh, yes.
They don't.
Yes.
Yeah, of course they come through. Yeah. Babies aren't, babies, I just think that their evidence is a little bit different. Don't you think, Mama Cole?
Yes. Yes.
A stillbirth. Yeah. So, I have a special message for them that I can share with you guys.
Yes, I love you.
For stillborns. And this also goes for, so this is kind of for everyone that's had a miscarriage, a stillborn, an abortion, or has lost a child before they get to puberty, right? So that's like a couple years old, right? So before they're about 11, before the hormones start changing in their body. So those children are meant to come through you in that moment, okay? You were built to bring that spirit through, because all of us are evolving towards a higher being, right? We're all evolving to enlightened beings, but sometimes a soul just has like a couple more things to do, and they just need to kind of finish up their journey. And so they'll come through and bring something through. Now, sometimes that's through an abortion and through the doctors and through everyone affected by that, or through a miscarriage or a stillborn. And there's probably like a bazillion lessons that you probably learned from your stillbirth. Okay, Jade? And then that whole thing and everything that's happened to you afterwards, and everyone that was affected around you. So it would be the father of the child, and your parents, and anyone around you, everyone that knew about the stillbirth, even other children that you might have, all of them are affected by this lesson. And that's like the biggest message, that every time I see a stillbirth or something like that, or most people don't admit to abortion right away, but usually they come through as angels. So once they pass through, they become an angel. Okay. And so this is also why there is no shame or judgment for women that do decide to get an abortion. In fact, Spirit knows you're going to get an abortion before you even know you're pregnant. Okay.
That's beautiful.
So
I can never remember. Like, I love, that's so comforting for so many of us. Like, seriously, it's so beautiful. So beautiful. I love that.
It's just what I keep getting every time. And every single time I see someone saying something about babies, I just am like, oh, here we go. I have to say it. It's almost like the angels delivered me the message and I have to bring the message through. And I've been delivering it for years. Sometimes I'm like, really? I have to deliver that message again.
But I can see like all of them beforehand at like everybody's together come, like there's a grander, it's an eternal perspective. Like it's so much more than we can comprehend.
Yeah.
Like it's
absolutely.
so beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. The universe is bigger than any of us.
Yeah. It's really amazing. And I hope you're okay, sweetheart. That's tough.
Yeah.
It's very tough. But no, you're such a beautiful soul to be able to even be worthy to do that for another soul. You know what I mean? Like, that's a beautiful thing. And I know that it hurts, but it's absolutely beautiful.
Okay, it was a great question. Jade said my brother died 2 weeks before my baby, and I felt like my brother saved him from something on earth. That's probably true, Jade, especially if you felt it like in your soul. Like I always tell people, if you felt something, like you felt you knew somebody from a past life, it's probably true. Those are your intuition. You don't need me to validate that for you. And now this person says, does that mean when people pass, is it set in their journey from the start? Kind of. It's kind of set in how you might go, but it's more of like a vibration. Okay. So like some people that have the sun afflicted might pass from like something in their heart or their overall vitality. Okay. But there's ways to like see how you might pass, but when is always the question. So like in astrology, I can see how you might pass, but I can't see when. And this is why, because there are moments in which those windows sort of open and the universe says, oh, did you want to leave now? Oh, okay, no. Okay, so like what happens is, let's say you're a smoker. You're smoking for years and years. You go to the doctor. Doctor says, if you don't quit smoking, you're going to die. And then you're like, oh shit. So then you quit smoking. And so the universe opened the window and said, are you going to die? Oh, no, you quit smoking. Oh, okay, good job. I guess you don't need lung cancer right now. Okay. And so sometimes what happens when people overdose, they've come up to one of those windows in your life, and they can happen it depends on the person, but you can see the windows in the astrology chart, which is how I do astrology death charts. So if you tune in on Friday, I'm doing a talk about astrology death charts, which I consistently have to do because everybody's got these major questions about death and destiny, and these are the kinds of questions that I answer. And that's really what we see in astrology. So like there's a special type of astrology called death astrology that I use, but I find that it's more useful for when someone has already passed rather than trying to predict death.
Yeah.
Although it could be helpful. It could be helpful if someone, let's say, had cancer and was on their deathbed and was wondering when that window might open. I might be able to tell them. Okay. But not somebody like that's living a normal life like me and Mama Cole and all of you that are chatting here today. Probably not. Okay. I probably won't be able to tell you when, because it will just depend.
I've had like probably 4 of them windows. Seriously.
Me too.
Like,
Me
wow.
too.
Yeah, that's amazing. Mm-hmm. Like that makes so much sense. I love that.
Right. I feel like there was a window for me in 2020. Right. There was a window arrived. I was having heart palpitations. I chose to go to the doctor, even though the COVID pandemic was happening, even though I was worried about that. Right. So, and I went, and the doctor said, you have this, here's some medication. We need to try to treat your heart. We need to work on this. Would I have passed if, right? Okay. So you just don't know. And that's why sometimes astrologers will be like, if you're getting any kind of health problems, please go to the hospital right away. Okay. So that's just a little tidbit.
Wow.
we'll talk to that on Friday. And Nicole, you can get that in an astrology reading. Okay. Is it a love connection or helping me some way? I don't know if you do a reading for that, Mama Cole. Do you do a reading for that?
Yeah, you know why he's there. You know exactly. Okay. It's to help you. There's lessons to.
I was wondering if you pull those stones, if that ever tells you.
Yeah,
would that apply to something like this? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I could also my pendulum, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right, everyone. Well, I want to say good night. I want to say goodbye. Sorry, it's not nighttime. It's like 2:00 in the afternoon here in Colorado.
Midnight, it seems like midnight. Like, what a week we've had. But we got this, everybody. Jade said my chest got heavy after my last comment. Jade, do you know someone that's passed from a heart thing? Okay. Yeah, say heart.
So it might be that spirit coming through to you.
Get a nice shower. Just kind of flush it out. Relax. Yeah. Everything's okay.
It's okay, Bianca. You can watch the replay. All right, my friend. And I think what's today? Wednesday? Thursday. Tomorrow's Jamie Angel. Friday I'm doing astrology, and Monday is Nicole Hoop. Okay. All right, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Are you seeking guidance on your spiritual journey? Need help with a vexing problem? Missing a loved one and looking for answers? Look no further than Psychic Insights, a small trusted psychic service offering mediums, psychics, and spiritual coaching. This service is managed by Hollis Taylor, a gifted psychic medium, astrologer, and a compassionate coach. We are dedicated to helping you navigate your spiritual awakening. At Psychic Insights, we provide medium readings and psychic insight to help you plan for tomorrow and make choices for today. Find the support you need, compassionate grief coaching, and astrological insights to help you spiritually grow and transform. Our professional services include well-managed schedules, recorded sessions, and reliable psychic mediums ready to facilitate your transformational experience. Discover more at psychicinsights.life.